Hey everybody, good evening. Welcome back to the Brobarian channel. It's good to be here. Good to see y'all. Had a very good time watching the draft, watching the circus with our team. A lot of not nothing crazy going on. It's really just the crazies come up with the YouTubers. But let me start this off correctly. God, family, country, and in Pittsburgh sports, and in particular the Pittsburgh Steelers. So the headlines right now is all about me getting back on YouTube. No, I'm just joking. It's really about Aaron Rodgers signing with our team again. A lot of us are pretty happy. What I noticed at the YouTube, the media, all that stuff, we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff about. Um, he should not sign with us. If we sign him, we're desperate. He's holding our hands. He's holding us hostage. And then when he finally signs, you're starting to hear like, oh, it's his doom and gloom for Pittsburgh if they sign him, or he might not do well. You're hearing a lot of crazy headlines, and you probably will until the season starts. But I'm pretty happy with it. We got a quarterback signings. We got a guy who helped us get to the AFC North title. You know, we did a good job. We saw progress throughout the season as opposed to what we did, or excuse me, as opposed to what we saw the past few years before we got Aaron. So we had good quarterback play. Now with the draft, with them getting these guys like a Connicor, I think that's his name. We got Jeremy Bernard. We got the young man from Navy. We got a lot of good pieces that's really going to help the offense out. And at the same time, make it so that we can run the ball, not just protect Aaron Rodgers, which I would definitely love to see happen, but to make it so that we can run the ball a little bit more effectively than we did before. Now, there's other things I'm thinking about as well, like how will our running game look with Rico Dowdle, Caleb Johnson, and Jalen Warren, my favorite of the three. I would definitely say all of them are my favorite because they're all Steelers now. But at the same time, I really like Jalen Warren. How's it going to look when it comes to our tight ends? We got Mount Washington, Fryermuth, and we got another tight end in the draft. We got some interesting situation going with the offense, and then of course Roman Wilson, Jeremy Bernard, DK Metcalf, DK Metcalf. Said that wrong, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's very interesting how this stuff's going to work out. But one thing I can definitely say when it comes to our team, the process that they have in place, cream will rise to the top, and the right players will get on the field when we need them to. And that's what I can't wait to see. Preseason is going to be telling how the quarterback's going to be when it comes to Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and maybe a little bit of Drew Allard. I know they're working on his footwork. They're working on a lot of things since he came from college. A lot of the headlines saying he's going to be the future of Pittsburgh. I really don't see it because Will Howard, to me, every step of the way through college, he showed improvement. Enough the way he won the national championship, and in not barely winning, he won that. He won those games convincingly. And one thing I noticed about this guy, it seemed like every year he wanted to be better than he was before. That's a certain trait that not a lot of people have in just normal jobs, let alone in football, especially as a quarterback. So that's a guy I think that is the future of Pittsburgh, but we shall see. Also, when it comes to Drew Allard or Drew Aller, when he was at Penn State, yes, he was touted to being pretty good too. But it seems like when it really counted, he had issues. And of course, Mason Rudolph. I like the guy. It seemed like he's been with us for a while. He went away, come back. It's to me, it felt like he got worse. It's really weird how I'm looking at it because the last two times he got on the field for us, he threw interceptions, and I think two games out of that time, the very first play or the second play was interception. That is just it's so uncharacteristic of him. But it seemed like he regressed a bit, and for him to be the future, I just don't see it much as I like him. But I could be wrong. I think the atmosphere with Pittsburgh now probably not to his benefit. He might probably do better somewhere else. I hate to say that because I like the guy so much. When he was drafted by our Steelers, my daughter was on my shoulder and he said hello to her. I think he shook her hand or something. That's bias. I'm always gonna like Mason Rudolph because of that, because I think he's a cool guy. But besides all, we have a lot of interesting news and events happening with our Steelers. Our atmosphere is different with a new Mike in town. Mike McCarthy seems like a pretty cool Pittsburgh guy. I would love to meet that dude. Of course, I would love to meet Mike Tomlin too. But right now, we got a new atmosphere with our Steelers. I can't wait to see it. It's not too much more I can say about that. You guys have been patient just like me, anxious. Now we finally got the quarterback signed, got Aaron Rodgers in the building. They're going to be doing their OTAs all week. And I'm not going to look at OTAs as a barometer of what's going to be seen, like where they're going to be placing the linemen, offensive, defense, what they're going to be doing with the receivers. Is DK playing on the inside or the outside? Man, it's OTAs. You know what I'm saying? This is like team activities for freaking 10 days. This is not going to tell what our future is. When it really gets really good and meaty is when it gets towards the middle of July and August, when we start to see a little bit more issues when it comes to personnel, real training camp environments, real football environments hitting, stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. You guys have a good one. Thank you for listening. God bless y'all. And I hope you have a good one, okay? Tomorrow is me and my wife's anniversary. So that's going to be kind of cool because we're going to be celebrating it and doing what we've got to do. All right. God bless y'all. Thank you for listening.